Hello everyone! Welcome to my music tutorials for people who enjoy music and want to understand it better. I write examples of music in various past styles, at least the ones I understand thoroughly and have studied. And I explain what I'm doing step by step, musical layer by layer, from the first rough sketch of a piece to the final orchestration. None of my music is genius level. I'm not Mozart or Beethoven or Brahms, I'm just me, and especially the music that I write here in these tutorials has no pretension toward originality. It's supposed to show you the most typical techniques in a simple way so that you can follow from start to finish. I confess, I got the idea when I was watching Bob Ross and The Joy of Painting. I do my best, and I'm super thankful and appreciative to the people who watch and like the videos. I hope you get something out of them, and I hope you pass the word along to anyone else who might enjoy them. A while ago, a long time ago it seems, I posted a series of videos on how to compose the first movement of a romantic symphony. We got to the end of that movement, and I promised I'd write the other 3 movements of the symphony, round it out, finish it off. However, the next piece I tackled was not the second movement. If you watch my videos, you'll know that I started to show you a scherzo-and-trio movement in an early Romantic style, channeling the spirit of Franz Schubert. Originally, I was going to offer it to you as a potential continuation of Schubert's unfinished symphony, which famously lacks a 3rd and 4th movement, so I took a try at writing a 3rd movement in a Schubertian style. The famous tune that so many people know from the first movement of the unfinished symphony goes like this. To create a scherzo movement, I figured I'd take the famous tune and speed it up, tweak it and compress it, and I turned it into this. Using that little snippet as an opening figure, really a thread to pull on, I extended it, tried to see where I could take it, where it felt like it wanted to go, and I sketched out a full scherzo and trio movement for you. Then, over the course of several more videos, I began to fill in the orchestration. I always like to show you the full process, from the initial sketch to the final orchestration. But as I was writing that piece, I spotted a problem. Schubert was a genius. My movement is delightful, and I think it could go toe-to-toe with anything Schubert wrote before the age of 15. But his later music, including the unfinished symphony, is profound in a way that's beyond me. What I have is a good 3rd movement of an early Romantic symphony, and it even sounds a lot like Schubert, but it honestly doesn't sound like a plausible addition to the famous unfinished symphony in B minor. So what do you do with a random 3rd movement of a symphony that sounds a little like Schubert? Well, I had an idea. I promised you I'd write a complete 4-movement symphony in a Romantic style, and I already wrote the first movement. Why not modify the concept? Why not write a symphony in 4 Romantic styles? It would make for a better tutorial. Each movement could sample a different flavor from the Romantic period. The first movement, all done now, is from the mid or late Romantic period. It incorporates some of the stylistic flourishes of Brahms, who wrote high Romantic music, but always with an eye backward toward classical structure. He had long, flowing melodies and layered string parts. Here's how I tried to capture some of that flavor. So the first movement is done. The third movement is also now done. It's a scherzo-and-trio that's definitely not Brahmsian and not mid or late romantic. Instead, it's unmistakably early romantic, much closer to classical sensibilities. And in this video, we'll finally listen to the full third movement, all its fragments put together. All of this music has now been composed. I sketched it for you, and then I showed you most of the orchestration, so I think you have a pretty good account of how this typical early romantic third movement of a symphony was put together, layer by layer. In future videos, we'll get to the other movements, but in the meantime, here is the third movement of the Tutorial Symphony No. 2. Thank you so much for staying with me until the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed learning about music here, and make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. I'll talk to you next time.